And welcome back, everybody. That was a quick turnaround. Fun little top quiz there. It looks like they're on the beach. And from the sounds of it, Jack has not been to the beach in a minute. He was looking for things to say, but still funny nonetheless. Welcome from the risk department. We got Brett. Brett, how are we doing today? Talk to us. Let's get started right now. How you doing?
We're doing great. A lot of traders trading a lot today. We've got people making money, people losing money. Nice job on Top Quiz, Vanessa. I think you got all four right, if I'm not mistaken. Tough to do. I don't often do it, but a lot going on. We've got traders Nick for a tick, Nick T. He's up
Ooh,
4,050. Yeah,
hell
a
yeah. Hell
grand in
yeah.
his live account. And really gain traction. Love to see. Um, I know everybody knows Dakota's name, but Dakota is up $2,000 today. I mean, Dakota has big days, both on the good side and the bad
Yeah.
side, and he's started, especially in these past 2 weeks, to really gain some traction and grow that account from basically where it started, and really love to see some really good 5-figure profits in that account. And then the only other
Yes.
shout out that I have for today, at this time at least, maybe by the end of Shoulder Tap we'll have another, but
Mm.
Wang is up $4,019 in their LFA live funded account, and all that the risk team wants to see is that anybody that's up, I don't care if it's 200, 300, $400 or well beyond that, lock it in. You don't go broke taking profits.
100%. All right, Brett. So real quick before we jump into some of the shoulder taps and go over the train cards, just from quick glance, are we seeing more red or are we seeing more green on the across the board today from our traders?
Oh, let's take a look. My screen's off to the right if you see me glancing to
Yeah.
the right, but we've got a bunch of green traders.
Okay.
We're probably two thirds in the green, a third in
Hell
the
yeah.
red, which is not unexpected. So love to see it, and the big numbers on the green side are bigger than those on the red side. So
Beautiful.
we're taking money out of the markets. That's what we're here for.
Beautiful. Beautiful thing. All right, well, let's jump right into these trading cards. Who do we got first?
Let's do it. The first trader that I wanted to highlight is Swan,
All
and
right.
Swan is in a 100K XFA
Mm.
from Canada,
Yes.
but kind of fluttering, if you will, Andre.
Okay.
And average daily P&L $22, which is not bad at all, considering that Swan has been in the account for 76 days. That
Okay.
is an eternity in the markets.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can keep your head above water, like I said earlier, we're here to take money out of the markets. If you can do $20 a day, you can hopefully eventually or expectedly get up to more than that. And as long as you can prove that you can A, cover your costs, your
Right.
commissions and fees, and have a profit beyond your fees, you can be successful in the markets and learn from the past trading that you've done and grow from there. Because Jordan, I really enjoyed Jordan's segment earlier today, where one of the things that I
Yes.
picked up on was we're all here to learn from each other. And
100%.
if that's not a single sentence to accentuate why we're doing Top Step TV, whether it be shoulder tap or risk management or any of the other segments. We're all here to learn from each other. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. And I mean, Andre, I don't know about you, but the markets, they have taught me more lessons than I maybe even wished to have. However,
Hmm.
the markets often would charge me a high premium to
Yep.
learn those things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We call it a
And
very expensive tuition, Brett. Michael talks about the three $30,000 accounts he lost just to get back in, just to get into the game. $30,000. I lost 10 grand trying to get into this game. It's very, very, very expensive. The less they're very costly, and there are no mulligans in this game. So, like you were saying, it's expensive. But please go on with Swan. This is very interesting.
Yeah, Swan. So Swan has a 79% winning trade percentage for the day
Right.
and 58% winning trade percent overall intraday. Really kind of at 1-to-1 on the reward over risk and doesn't take a whole lot of trades. I love to see Swan taking just 3 contracts per trade, trading in a few different markets, but the average winning day being at 196 and the
Mm-hmm.
average losing day being 632, need to work on that. Let's limit the losses a little bit. Consider working for benchmark days and working towards and earning a payout. Um,
Wow. Excellent. Excellent.
Swan has some great trading days. The best day is 685, which I love that. It's better than
Sure.
the worst losing day or average losing day, I'm sorry.
Right.
But working for modest wins and modest losses, that's the key. It's not hanging it all out there and possibly hitting a daily loss limit of 3,000 or greater, or I guess
Mm-hmm.
Swan being in 100K XFA 2,000. It's about longevity and trading for tomorrow, as I know you're a big proponent of, Andre.
100%.
Um,
100%.
I mean,
So,
with the average winning day being 196, or we'll call it 200, the average losing day being around 600, Andre, I used
yeah.
to have days where I would sit down at the computer, put the mouse in my hand, and say, you know what? I've got to be on the right side of zero today. I don't care if I make $50.
Uh-huh.
I need
Uh-huh.
something that I can prop myself up on. Do you have days like that?
100%. And I want to go back to Adobeism, and I say it probably once a week around here. But so, say you're up $100 or $50 on the day, like you just said, you're on the right side of zero. I like this. I like that. You're up $50 on the day. You're thinking to yourself, "Oh man, I'm up $50. It's nothing, right? That's nothing." There's always someone out there that's down $1,000 on a day, down $2,000 on a day that would do anything just to be up $50 on the day. So just because you're up $50, just because you're up $100, you don't think that's much. Still a win. It's a win. You start stacking those wins. Before you know it, you got big numbers in your account. So yes, just because you're up $50, you don't think it's much. There's someone out there that would do anything to be up those $50. So Brett, that you make a very, very good point there.
Yeah, I mean it's similar to anybody that is out there and fighting tooth and nail for really anything, whether it be profits in the marketplace or otherwise. You know what? I hear about people that and I hate it's a very easy thing to equate trading to, but take it with a grain of salt. Gamblers always tend to make money, and we don't want to encourage gambling.
Nope.
Part of the reason that gamblers always seem to make money when they're communicating that they're making money is that's the only thing they'll talk about. They're not going to talk about, man, I got smoked yesterday and I lost $800 and the day before that I lost 500. You know what? Don't get caught up on the fact that traders are making big money. You play your own game and
Right.
trade the way that you find successful.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Stick to your own plan. Don't worry about what others are doing. Obviously, we come on here with Shoulder Tap. We show 3 examples of 3 different traders and how they're trading, bring up their stats and such. But that's just them, right? You can pick and choose from pieces that you like from each of these trading cards to maybe apply to yourself. But keep in mind, everyone has their own personality. Every market has their own personality. And those two things need to mesh, right? So not everyone's the same. Everyone's trading style is the same. Not every market's suitable to everyone's personality. So I think that's kind of what Brett's saying here. So we do see, Swan here, and stats maybe not be appealing to you, but that's what works for them. So that's kind of how we're trying to show here.
Yeah, and Swan's making money,
Oh
albeit
yeah,
modest, but it's a place to grow from. If you're making money, you can hopefully adjust or evolve with the marketplace and turn them into bigger numbers and equitable numbers that are going to allow you to sustain a comfortable living. If you're losing money, you got to change something,
Right.
obviously, which I'm glad to say Swan isn't at that point.
Good thing.
Um, yeah, Swan's taken some payouts. I think Swan even took a payout yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
And yeah, time to
Excellent.
time to limit the daily losses and work for benchmark days to keep those winning days coming.
Absolutely. All right, great. So we got
Um,
Swan. We got Swan. Who do we got next here, Brett?
Next up, we've got Salman.
Salman.
Salman is
I know
in
this name.
a 150K live account
Mm-hmm.
and NASDAQ trader.
Yep.
Average daily P&L is just shy of $1,000. Winning day percentage, I kind of want to touch on at 24%. Not great, but with that average winning day at a just shy of $1,000, it's adding up. And that's what enabled you to get called up to live, and that's what we've seen in the live account since you've been called
Mm-hmm.
up. The one big highlight is the average win loss per trade. I don't know if you're looking at it,
Yes, I
Andre,
am.
but
Yes, I am.
average
Wow.
winning trade 4,400, average losing trade 1,300.
Hot
You
damn.
know what? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the winning trade phenomenal. Love to see the 4,423 average winning trade, but cut your losses. You don't want to stick your neck into the guillotine every day and hope it doesn't fall.
Right.
It kind of looks like that's what's going on. We
Why?
need to get the swings under control.
Why? Why?
Good
Why is it?
question,
Why?
Andre.
Right? Why does it look like that?
Why? Well, as far as you know what? Letting your profits run, that's the way to make money.
Sure.
Sometimes you want to take off half of your position when you are in profit and then put the rest at a break even. But the thing is it's important to be available for market situations that occur intraday. And and I don't know whether this is happening in the first couple of hours of the day session or the end of the day session. However, it's important to be available if I was a NYMEX trader. Crude oil was my primary focus. If a
Mm-hmm.
pipeline blew up at 2 o'clock and I already lost my daily loss limit, guess
Yep.
what? I couldn't capitalize on it.
Yep.
Volatility is what we thrive on and are
Mm-hmm.
eager to see. And you gotta be able to trade it and stomach the risk that volatility provides. And volatility is very closely associated in my book with opportunity
Okay.
because a flat market doesn't give you a lot of opportunity. Yeah, you can
Mm-mm.
be the bid offer in a market, but that's a tough thing to do when you're working for less than a single tick. And something that I really don't suggest to people in general because it is such a tough thing. You lose 2 ticks, you blew out your last 100 trades by
Exactly.
one or two trades.
Yes.
Um, Salman, did you see Salman's best day? Salman was highlighted,
14.
I
Yeah.
think, last week or the week before. Salman's best day is a staggering $51,685.
Jesus. Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal. Hey, real quick, Brett. I just want everyone. This is the same Salman that's on the leaderboard, currently ranked number 6 on the global leaderboard here at Top Step. So, looking at a real deal trader here. And when we say some things need to change, obviously, we're just talking about minor areas where corrections could be made. Obviously, the stats speak for themselves. His rank on the leaderboard speaks for themselves. We're not saying this is, this isn't a case that needs a complete overhaul. We're just looking for minor tweaks, perhaps things that could improve the P&L. Because people in chat were 4-to-1 risk reward ratio with only 25% winning percentage. Of course, the math works. The math works, but there's always areas for improvement. I think that's what Brett and the risk team are just trying to tell everyone.
Yeah, and good point, Andre. A lot of those numbers and how favorable they look is
Mm-hmm.
attributed to a single day of 51,685 in
Yes.
profits.
Yes.
I'm not putting that down whatsoever. That
Mm-mm.
is incredible. You've outdone a lot of professional traders that have done this for years. You probably, I assure you, you've outdone some traders that have spent 40 years trading the markets because it's a
Yes.
different style. But the one thing that I really want to point out is that if going for a home run isn't always the best way to trade, oftentimes it's going for base hits. You know what? You
Yes.
might get a home run. Whoops, that's a happy accident, as
Yes.
Bob
Yes.
Ross would love to say. But if you go for the home run, a lot of times you fall flat. And at least in my experience and a lot of my experience watching other traders trade live accounts, the falling flat catches up with you before the home runs do when you're
Yes, it
trying to
does.
knock them all out of the park.
Yes, it does.
Um, One thing, Salman, nice job. May 1st, I think, if that was a trading date. But I know May 2nd and the previous trading day, they were a little bit rough. Had a couple of daily loss limits, and you've taken some time off since then. And love to see it. I would encourage anybody watching Top Step TV or anybody, period, that if you're struggling and don't know where to turn as far as getting profitability in your trades, you know what? Step away for a minute. Turn the computer off and go for a walk or do
Absolutely.
something different that can clear your mind because when you have to make money, it is so difficult to make money.
100%. 100%. Okay, well, that's Solomon. Everyone sees that name in the on the leaderboard all the time. We'll continue to give you updates on Solomon as we keep going forward. But yes, the $51,000 day, it keeps your head above water. But it's the sustainability that we're kind of trying to focus on here. But we'll see how it progresses. They're doing their thing and they're trading well. So we'll see. We'll keep the audience updated on how Solomon progresses. I would say, Brett. But let's move on to the last trading card, and then I got a question for you after our last trading card.
All right, sounds good.
Mhm.
The last one is a name that I'm not sure it's been mentioned recently, but was kind of a go-to for a little bit. Fatima. I'll give a
Oh yeah.
little bit of backstory on Fatima. Fatima was in a live funded account probably about a month ago now, and she did a great job. She actually reduced her daily loss limit down to, I think, as low as $150.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was pumping my fists in the air
Yes.
when she asked for that because it's the way to go about trading for tomorrow and limiting your losses. And yeah, it's tough to have your back against the wall, but she forced her back against the wall and now
Mhm.
she's in an XFA. It's 150K XFA. She's a Nasdaq trader. Um, the one thing I would encourage Fatima to do with an average daily P&L of just over $1,500, right at 50% for winning trade percent, winning day percent, I would encourage her to pump the brakes. Keep
Mm.
in mind, small winners add up to big days. Um, it stands out to me that the average intraday P&L high and low is 3,500 and 1,300.
Yes.
That's a big range. Go for 2 grand and hang it up for the day. Again, you don't go broke taking profits. Your
No, you
best
don't.
day also way up there, similar to Salman's best day. Not quite there, but
Yep.
best day at $8,500. Phenomenal. It's only been 8 days in the account, but it might be time to pump the brakes and get consistency and profitability as the norm, not these big swings where you go down $2,200 and then end up with a $300 profit for the day. Not a bad thing. It is at least based on my experience, an exceedingly difficult thing to recover from.
Yeah, it is, Brett. And we say I see, pump the brakes a little bit. What do you mean by pump the brakes? Is managing your downside a bit more? Because obviously we don't want to pump the brakes on your upside. We never want to cap the upside, never want to cap profits. But what do we mean by pump the brakes? How can we take pump the brakes and actually apply it to the trade?
By pump the brakes, all that we mean, or I mean, is that, you know what, instead of doing two, especially if you're not profitable in the recent past, the past few days, weeks, whatever, don't do the volume, don't do the clip size that you normally do. You can always do one, you
Gotcha.
can always do the
Gotcha.
micros. It's not necessarily about, I like to call it, taking over the world in a week or a month or whatever,
Right.
but it's a tough thing to do, and I don't know anybody that's been able to do it, but it's tough to get all the money out of the markets, and we're here just to kind of pick up the scraps, or that's what I always told people. I'm picking up the scraps that the monsters, the algos, the institutions
Yes.
are leaving on the floor, and it is more than enough to make a very comfortable living.
Absolutely. Well, we got a quick market update here, Brett. We did see a bit of a pullback here in the NQ and S&Ps. S&Ps pulled back about 5 handles from 52.30 deck to 52.25, currently trading 52.27. Here in the NASDAQ, we saw a pullback of about, call it 25, 30 points. Currently trading just beneath 18,200, trading 18,198 right now. So that pullback started around 22s. We are now trading beneath 200s. So keep an eye on that as that progresses. Now, Brett, final question for the show tab. Again, thank you so much for your time. The people love talking and hearing from the risk department. In the chat, there has been some murmurs, some rumors, or some questions, perhaps a behind the scenes type of episode, some footage, what it's like to be in the risk team, what it's like, what it looks like from your guys' perspective, what you guys are looking at, what your guys' conversations sound like. Is that something, would that be good TV? Or is there much there? Or is that something we got to kind of keep to ourselves?
I mean, that's something that we would probably have to discuss with production, as I
Gotcha.
don't know how exactly we might display that accurately and entertainingly on Topstep TV. But I mean, I will say it is stressful. I truly want every one of our traders to make money, and yeah, I've
What?
told myself a lot of the things that I tell the traders, and I'm not always able to listen to myself on the advice. It's
Uh,
tough, and I get that. That's kind of a lot of what it boils down to.
I agree. Brett, all right, real last question here before we move on to group coaching. Why is it so stressful? What is so stressful about it? Is it just wanting to see trader success, or what stresses you about it?
That I see live traders, express funded traders, they go up five figures, well into five figures. And it's so painful to
Uh,
see it go back to a daily loss limit. I mean, lock in those profits. Yeah, financially, I don't, it doesn't affect me if somebody makes a ton of money in the markets early and then gives it all back. But on a personal note, it is difficult to watch. And I kind of
yes,
want to, that's why we reach out to traders and say, hey, you know what? You were up a ton, but you're still up. Hang it up for the day,
yes.
call it quits. And hopefully they listen. I all of the advice that is given is heartfelt from anybody on the risk team. I am confident in that.
100%,
And
100%.
seeing a great day turn into a losing day or a 0 day is difficult to watch.
It is, Brett. Well, Brett, thank you so much for your time from the risk department. We will look into that behind the scenes. Maybe we can figure out something on how to do it. Maybe we get a little clip, maybe a short reel or something like that. For the time being, I hope everyone enjoyed those trading cards, and we'll keep an eye on Salman and see how that progresses. Again, number 6 on the leaderboard. We just did the trading card today. Kind of give you the template on what it looks like to get that far up on the leaderboard. Brett, thank you so much. Real quick, for those asking about the fire drill, again, the form's coming out during Power Hour, 2 p.m. Central. Obviously, you know we got you. We'll make you whole, as we always do here at Top Step. Brett, thank you so much. Group coaching coming up next. The form is pinned to the top of the chat if you do want to get a question in there for JD and Robert. Brett, thank you so much. Group coaching coming up next.